It's Therapy Thursday, and this message goes out to all of my people that are dealing with self esteem. No, defensive self esteem. Because defensive self esteem is a psychological profile where an individual presents a highly confident, positive self image on the surface underneath. They harbor unconscious self doubts and fragile self worth because their confidence relies heavily on external validation and approval. They become highly reactive to criticism and ego threats. In psychology, defensive self esteem refers to a fragile type of high self esteem that is highly dependent on the opinions of others. People with this trait feel a constant need to protect their ego, their self worth, and making them highly sensitive to criticism. Psychology term, it's called DSE. That sounds like a government department. But let's stick to the script because individuals with this type of self esteem unconsciously adopt behaviors to defend themselves and maintain their fragile image. Here are some characteristic traits that I'm about to call out for you that they may have. They have difficulty in handling criticism. They may react defensively, lash out, or resort to counterattacking. Their confidence fluctuates wildly based on whether they are receiving constant positive feedback or achieving impossible high standards. They also have hyper awareness of a threat. They focus intense mental energy on defensiveness related words, constantly scanning their environment for perceived attacks because their ego is fragile. Constructive criticism or feedback is often processed as a harsh personal attack. Then the need for constant validation. Their confidence isn't self sustaining. They require frequent praise, external achievements, and positive feedback to maintain their inflated image, self image. Now, the defensive behaviors then start to come in. Get off my hair. They threaten, they may resort to attacking or blaming others in group bias or exhibiting narcissistic and arrogant tendencies to protect their ego. They have this coping mechanism called ego protection, means their worth is tied to external factors. Any perceived criticism, failure, or neutral feedback is interpreted by the brain as an ego threat. And if untreated, this is when narcissism comes in. It's like a linkage. In many cases, a mismatch between high explicit and low implicit self esteem can manifest as narcissism or arrogant behavior, used to shield the individual from the discomfort of feeling diminished. So, if you find yourself in anything that I have said, this message is for you, and I'm about to free you on today. So, let's get to work. Why? Because healing defensive self esteem means untangling your worth from external judgments and shifting from self preservations to self compassion. Defensiveness is a coping mechanism for perceived ego threats. But you can build a more secure, compassionate sense of self by rewiring your emotional response and daily habits. Number one, use the body pause. Instead of marshaling arguments to prove you are right, notice where the defense surge registers physically, like a tight chest or a clenched jaw or a fist. Shift to introception. Focus entirely on your physical distress and acknowledge it. I notice my chest is tight right now, rather than continuing the narrative loop of blame. Ask yourself when you catch yourself building a rebuttal. Ask, am I trying to be right or am I trying to be close? Shift to compassionate self talk. Healing a defensive ego requires letting go of perfectionism rather than adopting aggressive fake it till you make it or extreme positive affirmations that may feel insincere. You have to practice those things. Then there's honest observations. You have to shift to neutral, realistic observations about your efforts, replacing them with I have to be flawless, with I am working on this and I am learning. Replace judgment, like treat yourself with grace. Self compassion would offer a best friend, recognizing that mistakes are a shared human experience. Then there's understanding your flaws. You have to acknowledge your limitations rather than hiding from them. Admitting that everyone makes mistakes makes criticism feel far less threatening. But true self esteem is built from internal alignment and boundaries rather than relying on external validation or performance. But my favorite is live with a purpose. You have to act intentionally toward the type of person that you're aspired to be, keeping promises to yourself to build deep, lasting trust. And y'all already know my last one, therapy helps. Now, y'all be safe out there. Oh, and meat tails.